Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to this week's episode of Maconomics. I'm your host, Ross Mac, and I'm here to try to help you get to the bag. We got a new caller. Talk to me, what you got?
Hello? Is this Ross Mac? Ross Mac, what's up? It's Niece with the 27 piece, you know. Listen, I got approved for a crib, but then a bank called me back and told me not only do I need a higher credit score, but a bigger down payment. Listen, am I going to be on Section 8 forever?
Man, great question. This is something I was just talking about, right? And what you're referring to is the fact that JPMorgan, the country's largest bank, is now making loan requirements a lot more stricter, right? And what does that mean? Due to coronavirus, they now requiring all borrowers to now have a 700 credit score, as well as put 20% down in order to get a home loan. And this is actually vastly different than what was going on, because on average, people were only putting down about 10%, as well as having a credit score of about 630 in order to get a home. But the reason this is happening is just earlier this week, JPMorgan just put out their earnings, and they actually had profits down 70%. In addition to that, they actually put $7 billion aside due to the fact they believe a lot of consumers are going to default on their loans, right? And if you look at that, coupled with the fact that over 16 million people have filed for unemployment, you got millions of other people, not only being furloughed, but having pay cuts, this is going to have a big impact on the housing market, right? But not only there, think about it. The federal government, due to the CARES Act, are allowing borrowers to actually forbear their mortgage payments. So what exactly is mortgage forbearance? Mortgage forbearance is when you and your mortgage company agree to temporarily suspend or reduce your monthly mortgage payments for a specified period of time, right? This is just to help you get back on your feet, but this does not mean you don't have to pay your mortgage. You're gonna have to pay this back just at a later date. And data's still coming out, but it just was stated that, in fact, borrowers have requested to delay their mortgage payments by over 1,900%. So as you think about it, this is going to have a huge impact on the mortgage market. We've seen the availability of conventional loans have dropped over 24% in March alone. Jumbo loans have actually dropped by 37%, and government loans are actually down by 7%. However, there is still hope if you want to buy a home, right? I actually talked about this on one of my prior Maconomics with the Downing brothers, which I suggest you should go back and look at, where we talked about how to get a home with putting down only 3.5%. Here, this is all due to the F.H.A loan. Here, this is for low-income first-time home buyers, where if you have a 580 credit score, you only have to put down 3.5%. Now, obviously, some other loan originators are probably going to follow suit, just like JPMorgan, and get a little more stricter, just given the fact of coronavirus. But if you are a first-time home buyer, I recommend going to look back at my other Maconomics with the Downing brothers. You still may qualify and not actually have to put down 20%. Because this is a governmental backed program that is for low-income borrowers. So in conclusion, yes, loan requirements have got a lot stricter, but there still might be, light at the end of the tunnel, especially if you are a first-time home buyer. And in addition to that, I actually do think that home values are going to go down just a little bit. Why? Because if loan requirements are getting a lot stricter, that means there are going to be less buyers in the marketplace. That means if there's more supply than demand, then prices have to come down. And that means you might be able to get that crib you was looking at for the low. I hope that helps, man. Next caller, talk to me, what you got?
Quick disclaimer, this your boy Ross Mac. I'm just trying to elevate and educate. Damn sure ain't trying to play A. So if you lose somebody fucking around with me, it ain't my fault.
It's your boy Ross Mac, and we on quarantine right now, so that means you ain't got nothing else to do. So go ahead, go listen to my new music off Maconomics 101.